In this project, I'm going to create some landscape drawings in different materials such as fineliner, pen and ink, and watercolour pencil. I will explore mark making using these drawings by Van Gogh as my inspiration point. I'm also going to look at a particular type of compositional tool called the rule of thirds, which is really more of a guideline than a rule. It doesn't mean you have to stick to it at all costs, but it can be a handy tool for working out how to create a successful composition. The rule of thirds is a method of dividing your image into equal thirds horizontally and vertically, and then arranging your composition according to those lines and intersections. So if we look at this work, Starry, Starry Night by Van Gogh, we can see how he's placed his tree along the left-hand vertical line, and the horizon line is about where the bottom horizontal third is. We're all familiar with the paintings of Van Gogh. Even if you don't know the name, for sure you've probably seen his paintings. Starry, Starry Night is one of his most famous. But like any artist, Van Gogh did a great deal of drawing exploration before he began his major paintings. Even the great artists have to practice. These are the drawings I've been looking at. If you really look at these images, you'll see that they're mostly composed of groups or clusters of different types of marks. And what I find really interesting is how Van Gogh was able to tell us so much about this space with very simple lines and marks. We know that this is an open field with clumps of different types of grasses and plants, but if you really look at it, you'll realise that he's done it with only 4 or 5 basic types of marks. So I had a go at creating a practice sheet of all the different types of marks I could make with the tools that I had. I experimented with my fineliner pen, a fine tip brush, an old-fashioned dipping nib with ink, and then a black watercolour pencil and water. This worksheet that I'm drawing on is down in the description with some others if you'd like to make your own mark-making reference sheet. And I do recommend having a go at this because the more variety in the types of marks you can learn to make, the more interesting your work will become. I'm going to use this watercolour pencil technique for the final drawing, and I should mention that you do need good quality pencils for this. I'm using Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürers, but just look for something that's labelled artist quality. They will be more expensive, but they have a lot more pigment in them, and art supplies stores often sell them by the individual pencil, which will keep the costs down. I also use regular cartridge paper. It has a little bit of tooth or texture, but it's fairly smooth. Before you do your own drawing, it's a good idea to have a go at trying to draw some of these Van Gogh drawings. And this worksheet is in the description if you want to download that. And it is copying, but it's not like I'm going to put my name on this and put it on a wall. It's really just an exploration for my visual diary, just to practice my drawing skills. And I think that's okay. If you were learning a musical instrument, you would practice by playing the compositions of other artists, and this is kind of the same, really. So this one I'm doing in a felt tip. For the next drawing, I'm going to draw a very simple landscape design of rolling hills. I'm working from this picture, but I'm not going to stick to it exactly. I'm going to change it a little bit to suit my own composition. So this is just a sheet of regular copy paper, and this is a sheet of drawing paper. Now I've drawn the same rectangle on both of them because I want them to match. This particular rectangle is 24 centimetres by 13.5, but I chose that ratio because it suits filming better, but you can choose whatever ratio you like. First thing I'm going to do is tear off this bottom mountain. So I'm just going to try and get it as near as I can to that line. Doesn't matter if it's not exact. Okay. So then I'm going to line it up along the bottom here so it matches that rectangle that I've drawn on the drawing paper. Then I'm going to take my black watercolour pencil, and I'm going to use the pencil on the side like this to create some even shade. I'm going to keep it quite light for this first coat. So I'm moving from the paper to the top. So I can't go in that direction because then I risk going underneath the paper, and I don't want any of the pencil to go under here. That's why I'm holding it there. So I'm trying to get that nice torn edge. So there you can see where that paper has been. It has masked out that edge, and now I'm going to tear off this next section. And now I'm going to do the same again, but I won't put any pencil down here. So I'm going to put a second coat. And press a little bit harder this time. And so you can see where I've put that second coat and where the paper has masked out this area. So now we have two tones. So now I'm going to just keep tearing out sections and continue that technique to the top. With this torn piece, I'm going to stop here and add the next piece in. So that piece fits onto here. Take that one out and keep going. Just going to tidy up this top edge here and do a little bit of extra shading. And then I'll just clean up this edge. So now I have the landscape covered in this black watercolour pencil, and because I used a watercolour pencil to create these different tones, if I add water to it, it's going to activate that pencil and turn it into a watercolour paint. So I've just got some clean water here, and I'm going to think about adding some vegetation into this landscape, and I'm just going to do that by adding touches of a wet brush. And because the drawing has different layers of watercolour pencil, so these ones have the one layer, this has the two, this has the three, the further up in the image I go, the darker the paint will be because there's more drawn on there. So I'm going to start up here. I'm thinking about the rule of thirds and putting some of my subjects and points of interest at the points of rule of thirds. So one of those points would be around here. And I'm also going to reference my mark making chart that I made earlier. And I think I'm going to go for something in this kind of mark. So I'm going to do some trees up in the background here. Now I'm going to use this dipping pen to add some of these types of marks into this hill to create the sense that it's kind of got grass on it. If you don't have one of these pens, you can use a food skewer, which makes a very similar kind of mark. You just have to dip the skewer a bit more often than you would the dipping pen. In this section here, I'm going to put just some tiny little specks with my fine brush. I'm just trying to suggest shadows on this part of the hill. So like the light is coming from that way. And these trees are casting shadows. Now I'm going to add some more trees into this area here, which is also the other point that would be where the rule of thirds intersect. So if that's one point where the rule of thirds intersect, this is another. So I'm going to put another tree in there, but I'm going to use a slightly different brush so that the areas talk to each other, that they're both trees and there will be the connection between them, but they will be different in shape. So I'm going to use my flat brush and I'm going to put it down that way, press, and then release the pressure as I go to the top. So the trees are, I guess, like a conifer. I press and then pull as I go up. As the brush pops back into shape, it creates that point at the top. And because I'm going into that very dark area at the top, the tops of the trees look nice and dark. Finally, I'm just cleaning up the edges of this drawing and I'm removing this ruled line that was down the bottom here because I don't think I need it. The way that this image is composed with this line running down here and this line running down here, the eye will naturally join this bottom border and it makes for a more interesting composition to look at because the eye is kind of forced to do a little bit of work. After looking at this image, I decided that it needed something down here in this bottom third. So again, I'm thinking about that rule of thirds and I thought it lacked impact. So I've just gotten some black Indian ink and my dipping pen. I'm just going to add some fine lines here just to balance the image a bit more. So these marks here are similar, these trees are similar to the trees up here, but I'm doing them in a different pen. So they kind of link in terms of their shape and form, but it adds a bit of variety by being a different kind of line, a bit of variety and a bit of interest. I'm just adding some detail to these trees in the background here, and when you're making these kind of marks you don't have to put every single line and every single leaf and every single branch in. It's enough to just put a few in and that will suggest the form. Sometimes less is more. And I'm just going to add a few down here into this area just to make these ones pop out a little bit. So when I'm adding these extra features, I'm thinking about the direction of the light. So I'm always thinking that the light is coming from this way. So this area of the trees is going to be darker than this side, and these ones will be lighter because these trees are down in the valley and these grasses are down in the valley. And as they go to the top, you wouldn't see them as much because that's where I'm imagining the light is hitting. There we go.